We have 11 mana. So that's like 8, isn't it? Let's take one back in case it's a Walrus Disruption. Woo! Shard City! Should make a lottery noise when they come in. Ding, 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 ding. Alright. 2 damage to tap target creature. We can't really do that. I guess we just create another shard.
Like
Alright, we have to mitigate Teferi as well here. Right. Hey everybody, welcome back, and thanks so much for taking the time out of your day to watch Hello Good Game. I really appreciate it, whether this is your first video or you've been here since the start or anywhere in between, really. It's going to be a very special one. The first wish board of Kaldheim in Azorius control with Niko Aris at the helm. This guy is everything you've ever wanted in a control planeswalker. It may look a little underwhelming at first glance, but when you see it in action today, you'll find out exactly why Niko Aris cannot be excluded from any Azorius deck right now. This is a must-have, and it can bring so much value into your games, allowing you to find the specific answers to the threats abroad on the board and, you know, get you through those tough times to better days. And if you can get to better days and you've got all the ability that Niko brings into the game, you're going to be laughing. You'll be miles ahead. They'll never catch up. So if you guys do find any value within today's video, make sure to like it. That's a great way to help the channel and the video that you're watching in this particular case. Niko Aris, Mythic percent Azorius control with a full wish board. And, you know, subscribe to the channel for more content as well. Support financially on Twitch, Patreon, YouTube, and by purchasing things through our Amazon link as well. Let's break it down. We're talking about the deck list, the strategies, the synergies. How are you going to pilot this deck effectively and efficiently to victory? Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Let's break it down. All right, we have an 80 card deck, as you can see, with Yorion the Sky Nomad at the helm. Busted! This card's ridiculous. A 4/5 with flying. As our companion, we do have to follow the companion deck building rule. In this case, we have to include 20 more cards in our deck than we typically would as our minimum. In this case, it will be 80. That is a great thing with all of the mill that's around kind of residually while people begin to upgrade their decks and play new archetypes, right? It is fading out. The rogues are not really as prevalent. I've not seen them, at least. And, you know, the crabs even in the straight mills that did exist are few and far between, which I love, which may mean that we can tune this deck in the future down to a 60 card version and just run a main deck. But hey, you know, that's for another day. And another reason we're using Yorion as the companion, there's so many new cards in the deck, I couldn't, you know, I couldn't cut cards. You know, I just had to include everything. I wanted to try it all, and it actually paid off with dividends. So a 4/5 with flying, and when it enters the battlefield, exile any number of other non-land permanents you own and control. Return those cards to the battlefield at the beginning of the next end step. Woof! Oh my gosh. So you'll see why this card is a must include in, you know, basically any deck that includes non-land permanents with enter the battlefield effects. In this deck, we do have a few of them, and just the general 4/5 flyer that you can use as your win con if times get tough is really good too. So Yorion is well at home here. The deck is not tailored around him. We are using Niko Aris, like I said, and capitalizing on everything FORETELL, which I may have forgotten to mention as we opened up. So, you know, Yorion is our companion. That's the first thing we'll notice. Next up, we'll break down Niko Aris. This is a 3/3. When Niko Aris enters the battlefield, create X shards tokens. You know, this is great. So it's 3 mana plus X, and then we get that many shards A shard is a token enchantment in which we can pay 2 to sacrifice it, scrying 1, then drawing a card. Very, very nice, allowing us to, you know, play multiple shards per turn, you know, and then, you know, getting the mana to be used on our end step, or sorry, our opponent's end step, for the draw, looking for our next card, which is, that's really good all in itself. And that's not even any of his abilities. +1, up to 1 target creature you control can't be blocked this turn. Whenever that creature deals damage this turn, return it to its owner's hand. This is very nice with our Yorion that we have included in the deck, right? You make Yorion unblockable. It's a 4/5, gets a decent hidden for a control deck, honestly. And then it comes back to your hand, allows you to replay it, getting that value engine going, right? Repeating that crime every single turn. And then, of course, we have -1 to deal 2 damage to target tapped creature for, you know, each card we've drawn this turn, which is pretty cool because we do have the shards that can draw cards. We have other things included in the deck that will draw us multiple cards at once that we'll talk about in a bit. So, you know, if your opponent's been attacking you, they've got a tapped creature, boom, Niko comes in, minus, and then, you know, if you've been able to draw cards that turn as well, at the very least it deals 2 damage, and for every 2 mana it will deal an additional 2 damage because you can sacrifice shards, for example, as a minimum. So that's always nice, dealing 2 to 4 damage, right? And then, you know, -1, create a shard token. That's fine, right? If he's got nothing to do that turn, just make another shard token. It's not incredibly important for Niko to survive in the deck. It's kind of like enter the battlefield, made all the shards, and now I'm just kind of here. Look at me, right? It's not a key component to the deck to have Niko remain in play turn after turn. It is nice, don't get me wrong, we mentioned some of the synergies there, but really it's about making all of the shard tokens for us. Other things that are really nice with Niko Aris is, you know, the Raven's Warning. Whenever one or more creatures you control with flying deals combat damage to a player this turn, look at that player's hand and draw a card. With Niko Aris, you know, we can make the 1/1 bird that Raven's Warning summons in the first effect here. Create a 1/1 blue bird creature token with flying. You gain 2 life, making it unblockable. We get to look at their hand, which is a key part of winning, is foresight, knowing what threats you'll have to deal with ahead of time so you can, you know, preactively look for those answers. And then, you know, you do get the draw as well to help replace the bird, which, you know, through Niko's ability would be bounced to your hand because it's a token, so it doesn't exist anymore. So you lose your bird token, but you get to see their hand and you get a draw, which is well worth it. And, you know, typically your opponent could easily block the bird, maybe. So, you know, that's another strategy there. With that out of the way, let's break down the FORETELL, right? We know that scrying is just generally good in a control deck, and you'll see that exemplified in the footage we have for you today. But let's break down the key component to this deck around Niko Aris, which is FORETELL. This allows us to pay 2 mana to exile a card face down, and we can cast that card at a later time for paying its FORETELL cost. So when we see the FORETELL cost, that's the mana we'll have to pay after it's already been exiled face down for 2 mana. So keep that in mind. It's a way of kind of like leasing things out. It's more expensive in the long run, but right now it's cheaper. So, you know, kind of cool stuff that we're able to do that. Very MTG of them. So breaking down our FORETELL. 4 copies of Depart the Realm. At instant speed for 2, return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. FORETELL for 1. So whether it's your creature that or permanent that your opponent's removing, or you're kind of just like pushing them back, making them respend their mana every turn, again, tokens can't be returned, they will just cease to exist, so it's nice for that as well. Planeswalkers, before they get to ultimate, you can bounce them back to their owner's hand. Obviously your opponent's Planeswalkers only, and you know, that's really great because now they've got to reset them and start loyalty plussing again before they can get to the ultimate. That's nice. Moving on, we do have 4 copies of Ravenform, sorcery speed for 3, FORETELL for 1. So, you know, if we can FORETELL this, a very nice discount here. And exile target artifact or creature. Its controller creates a 1/1 blue bird creature token with flying. You know, this is really, really nice if our opponent's got any big threats that we need to deal with. The downside here is its sorcery speed, right? So that's kind of a bummer, but, you know, if your opponent is playing a Lovestruck Beast and they want to play a Great Henge by their mana reduction, nope. Make that Lovestruck Beast a 1/1, and now you've got more time to survive while you look for the appropriate answer to gain control of the field. and gaining life is not a thing. You know what I mean? We were up to like 60 life in one of our matches today, so don't worry so much about the aggro matches if you have some form of, you know, disruption removal, slowing them down a little bit, right? And the Ravenform is a perfect example of that. Saw it coming. Instant speed for 3, counter target spell, foretell for 2. You know, this is really good if your opponent hasn't played anything nice. You know what deck they're playing, which will become more useful as the meta grows. Right now, we're kind of like shooting in the dark. But you use your general knowledge. You know what a good card looks like. And this will counter it, right? So you can foretell it for later. And then that's going to be a really cheap counter for you, which is absolutely lovely. I love Saw It Coming. Moving on, we have a single copy of Starnheim Unleashed for 4 at sorcery speed. Create a 4/4 White Angel Warrior creature token with flying and vigilance. This spell, if it was foretelled, will create X of those tokens instead. So, you know, for 4, you get a 4/4 Angel at sorcery speed. Not that great. But again, if we pay 2, put it face down, later on in the match, we can pay XX plus 1 to make those angels. So, you know, if you're paying 3 to make an angel, that's just a cost reduction. If you're paying, what would it be, 5 to make an angel, you'll get 2 of them, and then so on and so forth, which is really, really nice, right? I do not mind that. So it's a very cheap Emeria's Call, right? No indestructible on your creatures, but you don't have other creatures. So the fact that you can pay 5 to make 2 4/4 angels instead of paying 7 is really nice. And then again, you know, if we're paying 7, we get 3, which is, you know, probably going to close out matches and win them for you. So, you know, this is just one of our win conditions, and we actually have a few of them in the deck, which is quite nice. Moving on, we have Behold the Multiverse. Again, foretell for 2 at instant speed, typically costing 4 mana, which we don't really want to do ever. But we can scry 2 and then draw 2 cards. So, you know, play this face down early on in the game. Get it in play later when you're running out of cards, when you need some more draws going on. We also have Doomskar ×4, foretell for 3 at sorcery speed, destroy all creatures. Otherwise, this will cost 5 mana. You know, if you have to pay 5, it's just like foretelling it. But, you know, if your opponent doesn't have a huge field state, this is where it's really nice because, you know, you can let them play more creatures, right? If you can survive, this is great. You can play it later for a discounted cost. Absolutely awesome. And then, you know, finally, certainly not least, is Alrund's Epiphany for 7, foretell for 6 at sorcery speed. Create 2 1/1 bird creature tokens with flying. Take an extra turn after this one. Exile Alrund's Epiphany. Woof. This guy is godly. And that's all of our foretell cards. So now that we've got that, I think it's a cool way to segue into the foretell strategies. Alrund, the God of the Cosmos, is a 5-drop, 1/1, which receives +1/+1 for each card in your hand and each foretell card you own in exile. So we're really stacking all of those cards in exile while trying to still manage our hand. Alrund is a big boy at that, so a nice win condition through pure strength as the game continues. And then at the beginning of your end step, choose a card type, then reveal the top 2 cards of your library. Put all cards revealed this way of the chosen type into your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. So your hand's going to be consistently growing. This is such a good draw engine. If it survives, but lucky for us, we have all the control, you know, the removal, the bounce to help Alrund to survive. Not only that, but we can play it early game as Hacked Out Whispering Raven, a 2/3 with flying, and whenever Hacked Out Whispering Raven deals combat damage to a player, return it to its owner's hand and then scry 2, right? We get the scry, we get a little bit of damage, it comes back to our hand, and then we can cast it later as Alrund. Very, very nice stuff here. More synergy continues with Niko Defies Destiny. You gain 2 life for each foretold card you own in exile. This is very, very nice. You know, it's not uncommon to get 4 or 5 cards foretold, and, you know, gaining 10 life for 3 mana is very, very good. Plus, we get to add 2 additional mana to cast cards into foretell or use them from foretell, which is really, really nice, which, you know, reduces the cost of Defies Destiny in my mind to 1. So now you're gaining all that life for 1 mana. And then finally, return target card with foretell from your graveyard to your hand. So on your second upkeep, obviously you'll cast a FORETELL card, and then you actually get to bring it back to replay it later. Niko Defies Destiny is one of the many broken 3-drop sagas that we've seen, and we have another here. This is where things get really weird. The Raven's Warning to create a blue bird. We talked about that already. We also gain 2 life, which is nice. We talked about whenever one or more of our creatures deals damage, we get to draw a card and look at their hand. And then finally, you may put a card you own from outside the game on top of your library. Right? We've got a full wish board for you guys today, like previously mentioned. We're going big, and we're going to continue to edit this deck as the season continues, but it's looking very fun. We're going to break down our wish board after the main board's done. So lots more to go here, unfortunately, LOL. You know, we've got things to round out the deck as well. Mazemind Tome, it can scry 1, it can also draw us cards. Every time we do one of the interactions, it gets a tome counter on it. At 4, we sacrifice it, gain 4 life. Omen of the Sea, when it comes in play at flash speed for 2, which is nice. Scry 2, then draw a card. That's fine. We can also sack it later to scry for an additional 2. We have Yorion as our companion. Yorion can bounce Omen of the Sea. It can bounce Mazemind Tome to reset it, which is really quite nice. With that all out of the way, we've got some top end here as well within Shark Typhoon. An enchantment for 6. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, create an XX blue shark creature token with flying, where X is that spell's converted mana cost, cycling for 2 plus X. Whenever you cycle Shark Typhoon, create an XX blue shark creature token with flying. Woo! That's a lot. You know, this is just a busted card from Ikoria. It's really good if you cycle the shark. That's, you know, where you'd want to use it 90% of the time. But if you can hardcast it late game when your opponent doesn't have any answers, maybe they're top decking, you feel a lot safer about it. Maybe you even have a counter spell to protect it. Yes, yes, yes. Go for it. You guys remember the shark meme, right? Moving forward, 3 copies of Emeria's Call. It's a land unless we pay 3 life. It comes in untapped. If we do pay 3 life, it comes in untapped, which is nice. And then the call for 7. 2/4/4 angels, everything else gets indestructible. It's fine, you know, a little bit of top end damage. That's the list for Epiphany, Scry 1, 4 Hengegate, Mythic Pathways as well. You know, the temples, I mean, Scry 1, not the pathways. I know I said that pathways first there. 9 islands, 2 Castle Vantresses we can tap for 5, Scry 2, 7 plains, and 2 Castle Ardenvales, which we can tap for 5 as well, to create a 1/1 token. The land is fairly well balanced. We are playing with 80 cards, so sitting at about 28, which is low for the amount of cards I feel sometimes. But we have to scry. We have all the draw, so it's not really a problem. If anything, you'll get tired of scrying the land to the bottom. But hey, it's better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it, right? It's the classic rule. Moving into our wish board now, which fits perfectly with that rule. It's got a lot of goodies in here, and, you know, a couple of things worth mentioning is the Redain, God of the Worthy. Flying Vigilance 2/3, snowlands your opponent's control enter the battlefield tapped. Non-creature spells your opponent's cast with converted mana cost 4 or greater cost 2 more to cast. That's really nice. So that's what you play if you're against a control deck. If you're against an aggro deck, then you'll play the opposing side within Valkyria Protector's Shield, legendary artifact for 4. If a source an opponent control would deal damage to a permanent you control, prevent 1 of that damage, and then whenever you or another permanent you control becomes the target of a spell or ability and opponent controls, counter that spell unless they pay 1 as well. So, you know, this is really nice for the fact that we can dodge all of their 1-power creatures, or if it's a 2-power, we're just reducing it by 1, whether it's to us or a permanent we control, and then, you know, if they're targeting us, we can also reduce it. So, you know, a very nice play, whether it's the God of Worthy or the Shield. Personally, I go to the Shield first because we've got field wipe, so we're not necessarily worried about anything else. And, you know, if they've got non-creature spells to be more expensive, it might be too late anyway. So it's really nice just to kind of shut down the aggro decks if they're there, and then, you know, the Shield, because your field wipes won't hit it. So only play the God of Worthy, you know, if it's late game against another control deck, right? And it could come in handy. So it's one of those things where it's there if you need it. If you don't, you know, probably just play the main board unless you know that that card's going to save you. We also have a copy of Midnight Clock. You know, if being milled or something becomes a problem, we just grab our clock. It adds a blue mana for 3, which we can utilize right away. So it's kind of like it only costs 2. You'll need the 3 mana, but it regenerates 1 of that mana when it comes in play, which is nice. And then we can pay 3 to put a counter on it. At the beginning of each player's upkeep, a counter goes on it organically. And then when there's 12 counters on it, you sack it. I believe it gets exiled. And then you shuffle your hand and your graveyard into your library, draw 7. Very nice against those mill decks. 2 copies of Shattered the Sky, sorcery speed for 4. Each player who controls a creature with power 4 or greater draws a card, then destroy all creatures. You know, we've got the Doomskar main deck that should take care of that for us, but if we can't find it and we have the Raven's Warning, you know, we can grab our Shatters, right? There's no shame in grabbing a field wipe from your sideboard. Moving on, we've got an additional copy of Starnheim Unleashed. You know, if we're in full control, things are looking good, yeah, grab this. Go on the offensive. It's going to do just what we need it to. 2 copies of Elspeth Conquers Death. You know, maybe we've got some stuff in the graveyard we want to bring back, like Alrund. You know, maybe a Niko as well. Who knows? This will get us there, and, you know, maybe they've got a Shark Typhoon hardcast in play against us, right? And then this will allow us to take care of that. Also helps us take care of any of their planeswalkers, you know, just any general shenanigans through ECD, which exiles target permanent and opponent controls with converted mana cost 3 or greater. Next up, and now this is a lot of fun, non-creature spells your opponent casts cost 2 more to cast until your next turn. Really cool, especially when you're synergizing it with the God of Worthy. And then finally, for 3, return target creature or planeswalker card from your graveyard to the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on it or a loyalty, depending whether or not, of course, it was a creature or planeswalker. We have an additional copy of Alrund, God of the Cosmos, in our sideboard, just for memes if we want to grab them, because, you know, I like Alrund. I'm a big Alrund fan. Sublime Epiphany for 6, instant speed, choose 1 or more. Counter target creature spell, counter target activated or triggered ability, return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. Create a token that's a copy of target creature you control. And finally, target player draws a card. This does it all. You know, this is just a safe grab. It protects you, and it's just going to give you massive value with that as well. 1 copy of Dream Trawler if we need even more life than we'll normally get. A 3/5 with flying and lifelink. Whenever you draw a card, Dream Trawler gets +1/+1 until the end of turn. Whenever Dream Trawler attacks, draw a card, discard a card. Dream Trawler gains hexproof until the end of turn. Untap it. Really nice synergies with our shards. We can dump all of our mana, draw cards, make Dream Trawler really strong, and it's a nice win condition if there's removal on our opponent's side that's targeted, because we can give them hexproof, which is really nice. An additional Emeria's Call in case we need the lands, right, if we're looking for it. And again, the Angels are fine as well. 2 additional copies of Alrund's Epiphany for the extra turns. Love it. Absolutely perfect. And then Kyora Best, the Sea God. Why not, right? Just include all the broken cards you can. Create an 8/8 Blue Kraken with hexproof. Next up, tap all non-land permanents your opponent control. They don't untap during their controller's next untap step. And then finally, gain control of target permanent and opponent controls and untap it, which is always big woofs to take your opponent's stuff. So that's the wish board. This is the main board. Lots going on here today, you guys, around Niko Aris, one of the funnest decks I've played so far. You know, we talk about breaking the game and which cards are broken. The shard tokens are what's broken. Niko Aris as a planeswalker is all right, but the fact that you can dump all of your mana into it, you know, make 8 shards at a time late game, and just scry and draw, scry and draw, scry and draw. It's so powerful. It's a little bit ridiculous. So I had a lot of fun playing this 80-card Yorion Niko Azorius blue and white control deck. Let me know what you guys think of it in the comments below. Enjoy today's gameplay footage. We've got a great match for you against another Azorius control deck, which is pretty cool. And Kidden Middens was this gentleman's name, or female's name, of course. And I love it. I like It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Charlie tries to sell Kidden Middens. Nice. Woof. Thanks for watching, you guys. I hope you enjoy the deck and the gameplay footage. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share the channel to all of your friends. Let them know they can download Arena on their Androids and that iOS is coming soon. Support financially if you can afford to do so on Twitch, Patreon, YouTube, and our Amazon. We can also offer you free cash prize tournaments every single month. Brawl and Artisan. We have a 500,000 gem giveaway. 100 one-on-one sessions with myself that you can get in on as well, simply by subscribing and joining our Discord. with that all out of the way, thank you again for your time and attention. I know sometimes these can go on quite long, but I do my best to educate you guys as best I can, at least, as to the ins and outs of the deck, what's in it, how does it all work together, and then we'll move into how to use it in real time against some really cool decks. Thanks again, take care, and we'll see you soon with our wrap-up thoughts. Enjoy. All right, a new day. A new deck. Heck, it might be the same day. I don't know. It depends on when you're watching this. Shout out to everybody who watches more than one video a day. I love you guys. Thank you so much. Let's get the scry in right away. More lad. Can't complain. Hello, good game. With the love. Cheap counters. The boot. Birth of Malatus, okay. See what you're doing, bruh. I don't think we're really scared on their turn 3 at all. Especially if we don't have any, like, you know, things for their Skyclave Apparition to grab. Let's just play them out. Tome and play, we hold up our Omen. Of course, Yorion's hiding behind me. We won't tell them that, though. Shh. They Omen on us. That's okay. 60-card Yorion's a little aggressive. Especially now that rogues aren't a thing. Maybe 60-card Yorion decks are what's up. I couldn't fit all the new spells that I wanted to use, though, in it. I was like, okay. The only way I'm going to get to use all these new spells is with 80 cards. And then it allowed me to put in the Tome. It allowed me to put in the Omen, right? Shark Typhoon. So it's nice. Their whole turn on a Teferi. You can't just allow them to have a Planeswalker. We still get the Scry, which is nice. More land is good. Niko Defies Destiny. We gain 2 life, and in this matchup, that doesn't really matter. I'm hoping to get that extra turn, though, right? We have 5. This costs 6, and if we get 2 reduction, you know, we've actually got 1 mana to spare. If we Omen and draw a land, we've got 2 mana to spare. Let's give them a choice to take our Omen. So we know we're going to need those lands. They can stay. I guess we really only needed 1. Right, we're at 5. This is 6. We should have scryed that one to the bottom. Should we still toss it, or should we go towards 7 for Shark Typhoon? Let's go for it. Nice. Take the strike. It's our turn again. This land can go this time. They're still not dropping Ugin yet. Let's hardcast it. Greedy! Take our hits. You earned it, birds. So that protein they've been drinking. Or their eyes are glowing. Dang it! Dang it! They bring it to Fairy back. They have a shot of the sky. I'm gonna cry. Right? We can bring Yorion over and play it. Reset our tome. Nice. It's good. It's good. It's real good. Nice land drop. Alright, we need to get rid of this ECD, wipe the field. No attacks. We're gonna like double block and stuff, I guess. We already have Ardenvale. So much land! Alright, Teferi is ultra annoying. And he can phase us out instant speed, so we gotta like quadruple block this thing. He goes for the draw instead. Doesn't even want it flash speed minus us. Yeah. I would have waited till blocks were declared and then minus. Oh, nice. You dog! You think they have another? Ouch. At least they're playing original cards, right? Too bad you were already Teferi'd. It would have been perfect if they did the Teferi on the other phase. You think they bounced the 1-1? If they have a bounce, they'll be on the 4-4. Hey, at least we get it. Get out of here, man. Right, our turn. Let's take the scry. This is good because it'll bounce our Yorion. Or we can bounce it underneath. No, we can't. It'd be cool if we could target it while it's in exile. That'd be awesome! We should get a spell that's like, you can target things in exile. That'd be cool. Alright, Teferi does his due. Should have taken the draw first, my bad. Totes, my bad.
Defense had an imperfection.
They're taking their scries. Yeah, they're just gonna rebanish Yorion. We get the draw though. Oh my god. Nothing but land, baby! Woo! That's tight. Alright, we're gonna make a lot of shards next turn. They probably have a counterspell though. We need the draws, is the thing. They're down to 39. Really? Interesting. We get our XX in play here. Alright, that's a thing. Do you think they exile it? Got 2 Nikos ready to just blast our opponent. I really like Teferi. I think Teferi should go in our deck as well. Right? Teferi belongs in our deck, doesn't he? I wonder what they target. Whether it's our tome. Really? So they want to be bouncing that, right? Because none of these things have things underneath of them, which is good. So let's make a token. We have 11 mana. So that's like 8, isn't it? Let's take 1 back in case it's a Walray's Disruption. Woo! Shard City! Should make a lottery noise when they come in. Ding, 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 ding. All right. 2 damage to tap target creature. We can't really do that. I guess we just create another shard.
Ideas like seconds are
All right, we have to mitigate Teferi as well here. Right? That's something that needs to be done.
too fast.
If they don't have a win con, oh, it's trawlers. I remember now. We need all of the help we can get. I think we're set up at this point, though. Like, they're out of juice other than Teferi. But the trawler draws too, though, right? So that's good as well. They toss their own shatter. They could have phased it out with the fairy. Oh no, target creature you don't control. I didn't want to say anything. I didn't want to manifest it. Okay. That's enough. That's enough.
Come on, stay sharp.
Yep, that is really good for us. Right, because it's at 7. Let's just hold on to it, I guess. End our turn. You think you can beat us, Teferi? No, 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 no. We are worried about Elspeth Conqueror's death. I almost want to self-sack our Niko and not play any big creatures. You know what I mean? We could also bounce it, but then it's still in play. They could also just play it organically, though, without a target. So, it's kind of some weird logic to step around.
Think fast.
They're doing some nice cycling with Teferi. Banishing Lights. I mean, it's fine. We have another, right? Does not matter. What we can do now, though, is reset Teferi's loyalty. Bye-bye, double turn. Only we double turn.
I've only lost on purpose before.
Let's keep going to Shard Town here. Oh my god, yep. Yep. Oh, we might as well take that scry here, too. Yep. Did I mention we have a full sideboard? Stop it! Teferi, Teferi, Teferi. 1, 2... I don't even know. Plus 3, and we have 8, 5. Welcome to the Shard Casino. I catch 13 scries. You know, draw ones. You want a draw engine? How about Niko? This guy's insane. Each one of those shards is just like coming down on this Dream Trawler. Maybe. We're gonna have to be careful here. We only have one Raven. We need 2. We need 2 Ravens. I think we can take the scry. Still worth it. That's really good for us. Really, really good for us. So we have 11. 7 and 3 definitely works. There's lots of things they could do to get around this, but I think we're fine. We could have also just like drawn through our whole library. So we'll lose this, but we also would look at their hand and draw a card. Lose the 1/1, look at their hand, draw a card. No, because if they deal with 1 angel, then we can still block and stuff. So let's minus.
I can see more clearly now.
And then they would also get the life gain on that, which, you know, it's not the greatest for us, so let's just pass it over. We have a stop. So here comes a casket, which is kind of what we expected on the angel, right? That's why we kept the bird alive, so it could still block it. Teferi's gonna get nuked. Yes, 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 yes. What's that last spell? Did they have their own counter spell? I think it's another Elspeth Conquers Death. That'll bring a trawler back. Again. Again. So no attacks, they want to keep the trawler up. Cool. And now the fun begins. All of the things that we could do, I think we just need to take our own Dream Trawler. We could just tap them. But we can't target them, which is annoying. The Unleashed would be really good for us too, but, you know, I think the Shadow's just the safe bet. Let's draw it up. So let's use a plus on our Angel. Mike's unblockable.
Now we've got the edge.
Gotta take that chance. Hit for 4. We return it to our hand, which annihilates it. Vantress in play. About time. Shatter kills the trawler unless there's a counterspell. Nice. We can foretell this, right? We've got the ability to do that now. And we played a land this turn, so let's end our turn. And again, we've got these 13 shards to work through. Our opponent's down to 28 cards. We're at 52. Start digging. Oh, Doomskar's perfect. Absolutely. What else can we find? Living that shard life, baby. Island can go. Uh-oh. Remember how they Elspeth conquered death, our first shark? And that made me really sad. We're gonna just, like, flash that one in. Create our shard. Living that shard life. We can foretell this. End our turn. Now this is the control I really like. I'm so scared to play control a lot of the time when it's like, oh my god, I don't have a draw engine. No longer is that the case, right? Unless they're destroying all artifacts or something. Oh, they're enchantments. Not even artifacts. Is this a threat? Or do we just, like, let them have it? I guess we may as well draw out. Look for a counterspell. We do have, you know, saw it coming, right? Oh, such good cards. We don't really need the tome, let's be honest. I can't toss the shark, though. We're running out of mana. This is our last one. Doomskar. Let's just leave it. And that means we can probably just draw out, right? Refill our hand. Yeah, we've got more Nikos. I guess we could have bounced it, too. That might have been smart. Yeah, we should have bounced it back to our hand. I don't think it matters at this point, though. Another Doomskar. So their only threat is Dream Trawler, and, you know, look at the answers we have for it. Oh, this is nice. FORETELL. FORETELL. This is where it really gets out of hand. Get it? Oh, stop it! Alright, we're grabbing 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 life, up to 36. Settle down. Go. And that's our turn, yeah. I'm confident that we can chill out right here for a little bit. There's scrying, 27 cards. Buckle in, you guys. You know, I hope you didn't have anywhere to be, because you're in for a match now. Look at all these Doomskars! Okay, there's that Elspeth Conquers Death that we were expecting a little bit. And it's gonna try to take our Jazz. And now I'm not really into losing that. Come on back to the hand, baby. Gulp. They're gonna scoop so soon. We're right on the edge of Scoop Town. 3 scoops, please. Oh my gosh, diabetes, right? I love sugar so much. Let's just take the damage, LOL. We still have a ton of shards to go through here. Land could go. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. We've gone too far, you guys. This deck is nasty. FORETELL is amazing. $12 life. Thanks, bro. It's too much. It's too much. This just is bringing joy to my heart. Another ECD. They're really going all in with that Elspeth Conquers Death. Maybe we can find something good here. They've not even dealt with the first batch of shards yet. We're ready to drop another 10 in play. My bad. Let's shard it up. I love it. I love it. That's a good card. Depart the Realm. Common card. Just straight banger. We're at 38. They're at 25. We've been going through so many cards. We're going to catch up to them with an 80 card deck. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's Raven's Warning. We want Destiny. We want nothing but Destiny, baby. 14 life. Raven in play as well. Stop it! This is the best match of Magic I've ever played. I'm not even worried about these Dream Trawlers coming back, you know what I mean? Like, okay, okay. You do you, bro. Casual 60 life. What do you think the aggro decks are gonna think? I can sense the scoop approaching. Does this go through or does it get countered? I can't believe that goes through. Wow. That costs 8? No way. That's fine. They're gonna scoop. Please let us keep going. Let us keep going, bro. No! Woo! That was legendary. Oh my god. Just establishing full control via Niko Aris and the Shard army. I love it. All right, you guys. This is my first match in ranked with this deck. We've been tearing it up in the play queue, having just so much fun. I had 9 shards in play, like 10 cards foretold, and you know, woof. So if we can kind of survive that early game, this deck pops, and I've been really having a lot of fun with it. So let's see what we can get into within our recording session today. This is my first match, but I think it will be the last match in the video. We've just been putting them backwards because who cares? Let's get after it, right? Blue source, go! Our Hengegate and Mistgate Pathway. Really cool stuff. To me, Hengegate screams green because of the Great Henge, but what do I know? What do I know? Should we just, like, get right after it, probably? Just foretell everything we can. We are continuing to work on our sideboard pulls with the Raven's Warning. You know, it's not bad. So, you know, they've got a 3-drop here. We're going to miss out on the 3-drop, right? Is a 3-drop worth countering? Probably not. So let's just secure... Okay, so we can get the draw with the Raven on phase 2 next turn, much as we would get the Tome Scry. So that'll be fine. Old Growth Troll is really nice. We do get the land, which is good. And let's check out their hand. Take the draw as well here. All right, so we are looking for a couple key cards here. Are we gonna drop another Raven to block? We do get the draw. I feel like the Raven's Warning, since we have the mana, is just better than the Tome. And then we're still getting the scry out of everything. Looking for a Doomskar. Shout out to the Real Killer Dub, in which we had such an amazing match together in pre-release. So much fun, bro. Thank you so much. Just jumped on our Twitch stream with a host and a raid. So a big shout out to him, a fellow content creator. I'm not 100% sure if he's got the YouTube rocking, sadly. But he's on Twitch if you're out and about. There it is, baby. So it's Yorion to the top for free, instead of having to pay for it later. I think we just toss this down for 2. Get that tome in play. Birds attack for the draw. They've got trampled, so, you know, it doesn't really matter. Looking at their hand, which we already know all about. So Vorinclex is going to be kind of silly. He hits the field next turn, right? We've got other Gargaroth to deal with this turn. So it's going to be really hard. And they have close to lethal here as well, right? They hit for 8, plus they've got a ram through that hits for another, 3. So they're getting close. Probably just a Gargaroth, though. It's really hard because Vorinclex has haste. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4. Like, oh, that is really good. Oh, we already have one tossed down. So we just need an untapped land. Right, we need 5 available mana. Untapped land. Yes! Doomskar for the win. Woo! This actually really sucks. The old growth troll is very, very good for green. You know, these just became turbo lands. In which can become creatures, right? So, it's not great. It's not great. They do have to sacrifice the land, which would be less than ideal for them. But, you know, it's a bigger problem to have no value late game. You know what I mean? Because green has no problem playing a land every single turn, right? Which they've done. And then, you know, eventually these lands are worthless and it's going to be really easy to sack them. Which is fine. I mean, we can just Yorion in and it's like, stop that right now, basically. You know, if they don't do anything fun, we just have to draw. I'm not losing my tome. We'll just take the scry, that's easy. Scryland can go. Regular land in play, that's fine. Oh. Not enough mana to counter Vorinclex. Could dig for a wipe. Not enough land, sadly. We're 1 land away. And we can't survive. Oh, FORETELL. Let's just play the control game, right? In their turn. Your go, bro. Sorry for taking so long. Classic Yorion deck, I know, right? Just fulfilling the stereotype. Uh-oh! We'll be okay. Let's take our 4. We can risk it, right? We just need to get ahead a little bit. Behold the Multiverse can come out. Shark Typhoon's good. Let's take the Omen. That's a nice pull off the bottom of it. Align to luck. Alright. More land for next turn. They thought it was their turn again because we took so long on their end step. Little awkward. We're getting to be looking a little awkward. That's our turn. Not unmanageable. Uh-oh. So we're going to lose our Shark still to a ram through, but... that's not bad either. For life, plus a scry. Land to 8. Nah, more removal. Another Doomskar, right? So they get an extra 3 damage here, if they want it. Takes us down to 5. It's alright, take your time, bro. I'm super patient. You're not playing rogues. You do you, right? Nice. So they really need to pick up a land. Alright, Yorion in play. Blocks the Mammoth, we bounce the token. Let's see what Omen gets us. Land for Mammoth is really good. So we're losing Yorion. They just have lethal. Basically. Oh, that sucks. We could survive. Has haste, though. We really wanted to bounce that token. And now we have to block the Mammoth because they played a land instead of... Ugh! We're going to block the Mammoth anyways. We wanted to live, though! Not good. So we're just dead next turn. Instead. Unless we pull a Doomskar. Which we did not. And we don't have enough to counter Vorinclex. And make our angels. So sad. 1 mana short. 1 mana shy. Right? And then we could have countered Vorinclex. Blocked the 2 creatures. Good game. Very, very close first match. We'll get there, though. Don't worry. We'll get there. All right. Now that was a match of Magic. No rogues. Playing some control. I think proof that my new Azorius control is better than the old Azorius control, which was fine-tuned for 3 months. That was a nice match, but we did not have any problems at all. And it was thanks to Niko. It was thanks to all of the FORETELL, right? Woof. It's a little bit scary how much value we're able to get out of these new mechanics, right? The shard tokens, foretelling our cards for later. And the new sagas don't seem to help the situation either. Unless you're liking this deck like myself, I'm going to play it a lot. In that case, it is helping. Thank you guys so much for your time and attention. I really appreciate each and every one of you. Whether this is your first time here or you've been here, you know, since the start or any time in between. Thank you so much. Yeah, I really appreciate it. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share the channel to your friends. Let them know that they can download this on their Android devices. And you, if you are on your Windows machine, can download Assistant. Check it out. It's for free in the link in the description below. You'll get it. It's got lots of stats, and you'll see, you know, not only myself, but basically everybody uses this. So don't miss out. Get in on it. We'll see you soon in the next video. Wolf Chain in the very first comment. You know, I do my post where I pin it, and I comment Wolf on it right away. And then everybody comments Wolf as a reply to my Wolf. So, you guys who've been doing that, thank you so much. And we'll see you soon in another video.